started. I'm going to hit record on this. So thank you. Guess we just have two people right now, but this, of course, oh, no, we've got some more people going to pop on. And that's great, too. Thank you guys for joining me today. I wanted to do a couple of Zoom sessions to talk about the new Victoria Marie Mighty Network, the platform that I am using that's going to be replacing the Victoria Marie Facebook group within the next couple of months. And I thought it would be helpful for those who are considering joining me on the platform, as we're kind of winding down and packing up and moving from Facebook, to do some informational sessions so that you can see what the platform looks like, get a peek inside of the platform, give you some more information about what's to come. There are a few reasons why I decided to make this change, and it took me about a year to decide if I was going to make the change to begin with. But after I learned more about the Mighty Network and seeing others engage on the platform and other content creators using the platform, I became very interested in it. So today, I'm going to talk about what the platform is, what it looks like, why I'm moving the group, and there's some reasons for that on a technical side when it comes to Facebook. How does it work? And then just a reminder of the timeline. And then if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. So thank you those who are joining me right now. And then of course, if you're catching this during the recorded replay, thank you so much for watching. I hope this is informative, particularly for those who are kind of on the fence and not sure if you want to manage or balance another social media platform, or another platform rather. I hope that this will help give you some more information as you're making the decision. So I'm going to share my screen here in a minute, and I'm going to show you what the platform looks like. But I want to talk a little bit about why it is that I am, well, first, what is a Mighty Network, and also why it is that I decided to move. So the whole idea behind a Mighty Network is for content creators such as myself to bring in our content under one roof. And for a lot of us who do online content creation, we have more than likely several social media platforms that we run, YouTube, blogs, a separate platform for classes, a separate platform for engagement. And it becomes really difficult sometimes, particularly if you're a solopreneur like me. It's just me. I don't have anybody hired on staff or anything like that. That when you're managing your social media and your other platforms, it becomes really difficult to do so when they're spread out across various different mediums. And so the idea behind a Mighty Network is to bring all of that into one umbrella, under one umbrella. The second part of that is to help facilitate more organic engagement with the folks who are in our online communities. What we found over the years, or what research has found over the years, is that as people are engaging more online, they're looking for ways to connect more organically. And platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, they all serve a different purpose, but it's really hard to kind of find community, particularly when a lot of those platforms are moving towards more of a marketing model, where they're throwing all kinds of stuff at you, lots of ads and all those types of things. And Facebook is definitely changing the way in which we engage on the platform, which I'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a minute. So Mighty Network is a great way in its title to build a network. I first learned about the Mighty Network through an online, I guess she does more of a business consulting type business. I would listen to her podcast, and she started talking about the Mighty Network over and over and over again. I'm like, well, what is this? And then I joined her Mighty Network, which is basically a network for folks such as myself who are entrepreneurs across the different industries, that we can come together and share information and share resources. And she, like a lot of us, were trying to find a way to really increase engagement in our audiences. And so the more I learned about it, the more I thought this would be a good fit for the Victoria Marie community, because there are so many people, particularly those who've been with me over the years, who have met folks within the Facebook group, who have met people at the retreats, and have created really long-lasting relationships with individuals within our online community. And so I wanted a platform that helps me manage all that and for everyone to have really organic engagement. And that's what the Mighty Network does. The reason why I'm moving from a Facebook to the Mighty Network platform is because Facebook is kind of changing the game and how online marketers such as myself play. And so they are more reliant upon people taking out ads. It's becoming harder for content creators to have their pages and their content recommended and shown unless you are purchasing ads, which I understand they have to make money, clearly. But to be a social media platform, it's not necessarily helping the content creator at all. It's really a money-making engine, which, you know, they're a business. That's what they do. I started to notice there were some slight technical changes with the platform that I think it makes it harder to find things within the group and within other places that I play on Facebook. And it's really hard to connect with people because that timeline or the discussion feed in Facebook, it's not static. It's always changing. And so it's really hard to go and find things that you want to go back and look at or engage or whatnot when you can't find that post, right? And so they also changed up how the platform looks now. They just did an upgrade, and which is fine, but again, it's making things a little bit harder to engage. And so I decided that I wanted to have I want to have an easier way for people to be able to do that. Another thing that's missing from the Facebook platform is, unlike, let's say, I'll use 2 peas in a pod, for example, where there is a discussion feed or a mechanism for people to be able to have this sort of offline chats or whatnot with each other. That was not the case with Facebook. And when I noticed that the Mighty Network has a way that we can create specific groups to specific interests, I thought, well, that'd be great, because people who are traditional scrapbookers can connect, and people who like doing 2-page, you know, layouts can connect, and people who want to get together for a Zoom, all those people can connect in those ways. And then third, I want to have an opportunity for my members to have active participation on this network, because at its core, it is a network. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at what the Mighty Network is, what the platform looks like. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And what you should see here on your screen is the Mighty Network home screen. And to join the Victoria Marie Mighty Network, you can either come here to start a free account, but you want to use a specific URL, because like a blog or a website, each content creator has a unique website for their Mighty Network. If you follow somebody else on a Mighty Network, then you have to go in through their direct site. Like if you're going to go see their blog, you have to type in their unique URL for that. It's the same for a Mighty Network. It's not like Facebook where you sign in and then everyone who you follow on Facebook, you'll be able to access from the one platform. So what you want to do is you want to go to Victoria-Marie-designs.mn.co, and this information will be provided to you guys. I'm going to post this on the Victoria Marie blog. But this is my Mighty Network site. There's an opportunity for you to join. It's absolutely free. I do not charge for people to be on this network. It's a replacement for my Facebook, so it will remain free. And the content, the general content on this platform is going to be free. I'm also going to add or provide paid opportunities on this platform down the road in terms of classes. And if you've participated in a Victoria Marie online virtual crop, then you would have already signed up for this. So you're already a member of the network in order for you to access the crop group. So here is the general page. It gives some information about me, why you should join. Of course, my big thanks for joining me here. You can also receive text notifications. Get a text notification in order to receive the app. The Mighty Networks does have an app that you can use with both your iPhone and Android. There are some limitations in the app, and they're working to kind of flesh those out a bit. Most people will go on the network using their desktop, but there are a lot of people who do use the app as well. So if you click on Explore, what you can do is you can come directly into the network and you can see how it's set up. And already you can see that it looks different from Facebook, clearly. And there's a lot of really fun features here that you can engage and interact with. So this is what's called sort of the home screen. This is the home area. And you know that over here in the navigation area, home is highlighted in gray. So this is your starting point. When you sign in or when you join, you'll see a welcome here. So you can automatically start engaging with content. And this middle section here is going to be your feed. So all of the content that I post for everybody on here, whether they're participating in a paid group or not, can post here in the feed. So I can post in the feed, you can post in the feed. I'll also post polls and news and updates and events and all kinds of stuff. And so if you notice, for different posts, people are able to comment within that post. So just like Facebook, you can create a comment, you can upload video links, you can upload photos, you can do all of those cool things as you interact with the content. You also get to meet people who are within the network as well. So when people join, you get to see their avatar, a little bit about them, and you get to designate what your interests are, which makes it easier to connect with people both within your community and outside. So that's really fun. So I'm just going to scroll through and let you see what that looks like. Now, the cool thing about the feed is that if you are participating in a paid group or any of the groups here on the Mighty Network, whether it's paid or not, if there are updates to those feeds within the group, I'm going to show you that here in a second, it'll show here in your home feed, which is really, really cool. Now, if this view of the feed is a little bit too overwhelming for you, what you can do is you can scroll back up. And there is this little box right here with 3 lines and 3 dots. If you click on that, it will turn it to switch it to list view. And now all the content in the feed is then sorted as a list. So then you can go through and just kind of skim the content that you want to look at. And then all you have to do is just click on the post and it'll open up right over here. It'll pop out from the right-hand side, and then you can go ahead and you can engage with the content. Of course, you have to be signed into your account in order to do that. And then you can see other people who are also engaged and other people who are online, and then you can check out the comments as well. So that's the home page. At the top, depending on what has been posted, you may see some other information to call your attention here at the top, but this is basically going to be your general feed. You can also organize your feed. So if you see these buttons that says show personal feed and then last activity, if you click on that, you can sort this based on what you're looking for. So if you want to see everything, then that's great. If you just want to see things on your personal feed, that's fine too. If you want to see things relevant that are posted from people who are near you, you can do that as well. It's just a really great way to network with folks. And then you can also sort the activity feed by the last activity, the date that's created, what's popular, as well as distance. So people who live close to you, you can see what they're up to as well, particularly if you've connected with folks locally. Now we're going to come back here to the navigation pane. This is where it kind of all happens. These 3 little lines here, if you click that, that'll take the navigation pane away. But if you click back at it, it'll bring it to you. The Mighty Networks has a few ways of which they organize the content, and this screen here will look very similar to other parts of this particular network, which I'm going to show you here in just a second. Under Discovery, Discovery is just yet another way that the Mighty Network will organize content. Here at the top is the featured section. So any post that I designate as featured that I want you to have your eye on, it's going to be there. You can click and interact with these posts, just like you do in the feed. Here are top groups. We're going to talk about groups in just a second. So if you notice, there are some premium groups, which means you have to pay. So here are the online crop groups. And the cool thing about being on the network is that if you're interested in participating in the virtual crops, you don't have to do anything else other than to log into your Mighty Network, come over here to the left-hand side and click groups, and then you select the crop that you want to participate in. It's the same as if when I start hosting classes, all of this information will be right here. You don't have to go to another website in order to access that content. So here are all the top groups, and that'll show, and you can click in there. We have a general scrapbooking chat. We have a Zoom scrap and chat, and this was started by some of my guests in the virtual crop group who wanted to continue to engage with other people. That's the beauty of the network. And so we started a group so that people can schedule scrap and chats via Zoom. They can use their own Zoom account, and you can post information or announcement in that specific group. Here's another premium group for the online virtual crop. And I'll show you what the groups look like here in just a few once I get signed in. Any top post, a lot of times these are posts that are getting pretty good engagement. It'll pop up here. You can also, there's an arrow, so if there's more to come or more, then you just scroll through and look at the top posts so you can catch up. Top members are folks who are actively engaging on the page right now. You can click on these avatars and you can see what their name is, and then also where they are from. And you can connect with people that way. So that's discovery. It's just a different way of viewing information here on the page. It breaks it down into category, makes it a little bit more succinct, and you can engage with that. You can also look to see who are members in the network, and that's the beauty of the network. The idea is to get everyone to connect together, right? I'm merely the docent. I want to bring everyone together under this shared experience of scrapbooking, and I want people to connect with other folks within our community. So you can see people that are listed here, their profile. You can click on it to learn more about that individual, their activity, what their interests are. You can even follow other folks within the group. So if there's somebody who's posting prolifically and you like their work, you can follow them. So anytime they post something, you'll get a notification of that, which is really super cool. You're encouraged to give yourself an introduction. And then if you are part of any groups within the network, it'll show that there. And the reason why it's designed this way is so that you can connect with other people who have similar interests. And so you can go through and look at who our membership is. And just like on the main feed, you can see who's near you based on, you know, your address information that you give or your city and state. Like I live in Fort Worth, Texas, but there's other people here in the group that also live in and around Fort Worth, Texas. You can see who's online now. So if there's someone you've connected with, you want to see they're on the network so you guys can hang out, then you can do that as well. So different ways of sorting that member information. The About section is basically information about the Victoria Marie Designs Network. Underneath that is topics. The cool thing about topics is that whenever I post something to the group, I can create a topic for it. So if you're looking for something specific, then you can come to topics. So anytime that I post information about the YouTube sessions I'm doing on my YouTube channel, then I'll post it under here under a topic. Any scrapbook projects, anything related to that is under a topic. Resources is a big thing. How many times do we talk about products that we buy or techniques that we use or people that we're following? This is a great way to build out resources for the network. So we have a topic for that. Topics are kind of like tags, like on Instagram. You tag something so that it's easy to find it. It's the same way here on the Mighty Network. You tag it as a topic, or it's just topics is just another word for tag. And so that way you can come and look at it. So if I click on resources, what it'll do is it'll give me any post that's tagged resources. And so if you're looking for something in particular, then you can scroll through, like for instance, best resources for COVID-19 scrapbooking. And here's another one, a COVID-19 collection kit. And as a member, you can add to this, which is really, really cool. So if you have a resource that you want to share, you can put it there as well. Another cool thing about this platform is I can create events, and I think members can create events too. But for right now, I think I have it designated for me to create events. And so I can post things like what's coming up for our virtual crops, if I'm doing something live on my YouTube channel, if I'm doing something specific within the network, there's an event. And the cool thing about it is you'll get notified when an event's posted and when it's getting ready to happen. All notifications are sent to the email that you designate for your account, which is really cool. Interest, if you have a particular interest, whether it's card making, electronic die cutting, hybrid scrapbooking, and you want to see if other people have that same interest, then you come over here to interest and you can scroll down and you will designate this when you set up your Mighty Network account and say, for instance, you know what, I want to see who else does pocket scrapbooking here. So you click on pocket scrapbooking. And then you can see everybody who also likes pocket scrapbooking, and you can start connecting with those people as well. So that's a really cool feature of the network. Next up is groups. This is the one that I'm most excited about with groups because I'm able to set up both free groups and premium groups, and I believe members can also set up groups. So if you remember back in the day with the 2 Ps in the pod and the discussion board feature, This is somewhat like that in that you can engage with people over specific topics. So we have a holiday project inspiration. Here is one of those premium ones. So when you come to the group, it'll tell you how much it costs in order to be a part of the group. All of my virtual crops are hosted as groups. And so that information will be there, and all you have to do is click more details if you want to learn more about it, and then click buy in order to purchase, in order to pay to be a part of the group. It's only a one-time fee for the virtual crops, and then you'll be plugged into that group, and I'll show you that in a second. Here's general scrapbooking chat. So if there's something that you're interested in, you can join the group. You can also see more details, and it'll tell you what that group's about, and then you can join it if you want to. That's a free group to join here on the network. Project share and creative inspiration, photo organization, Slackers, no more. I mean, there's really fun groups that you can participate in here on the network, which is really cool. Then underneath that is courses. I don't have any courses set up yet for the network, but I will starting in 2021. So again, you don't have to go to another site in order to access the courses. Now, if you have already purchased classes through my current platform, all of that content I will talk about later in 2021. So you don't have to do anything right now. You can still access that content that's hosted through the Victoria Marie online classes site that I host through Thinkific. But moving forward, I am starting in 2021, all of my classes will be hosted here. So as a member, you'll get information about that. You don't have to go to another site. You just come over here to the navigation, click courses, and you can see what courses I'm offering. And then you can join a course, whether it's free or paid. There's also a chat feature here in the network. So if you want to chat, post chats, then you can do that here within the chat feature. And this has been really popular within the network, particularly for the crops. People can post questions, they can talk to each other, you can see who's online, all kinds of cool stuff here within the member chat. And then down underneath that, you can see who's online now. Now, the general setup for just the Mighty Network overall is going to look very similar for groups as well. So it's the same page setup and also some similar options that you can participate in things within a group as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you would sign in. I'm going to go back to the home page. And of course, it's moving slow. And what I would recommend that you do is you bookmark this site so you can come directly to it. Now, you may be asking, Victoria, I want to access the site through the app. I want to use it on my tablet or my phone. I'm going to be posting another video about that next week where I will walk you through how to navigate it on the app. Some of the features are different on the app than it is on the PC, but according to Mighty Networks, majority of people will access the site through their desktop computer rather. So when you are ready to join, you'll just click join here at the top right, and you're going to create an account, and then you want to upload a photo or an avatar of you so we can see your beautiful face. You'll need your first name, last name. You also can use other platforms to sign in. So if you want to sign in using your Facebook information or LinkedIn or your Apple information, you can do that as well versus designating, say, another password and username. So that's how you will create your account. When you're ready to sign in, you're just going to come back, of course, to the Victoria Marie Mighty Network URL. You're going to come here to the right-hand side and click sign in. And then you'll just go ahead and type your information, whether it's your email address, your password, or you can use one of these other plugins that are already designated for you. If you are using the app on your tablet or your iPhone, then you just click on your app. And of course, you should designate all your information there, and you'll be good to go. And then you can access it from there. I usually will use the app when I'm on the go, when I'm wanting to check what's going on the network, but I will access this on my desktop or my laptop that I'm using today. So it'll say welcome back, and then what it'll do is it'll go ahead and dump you into the home page where you're able to see the content. Now, one of the things, again, so here's the page. It looks, just the same as I showed you before. This is going to look a little bit different because I'm the creator, but for the most part, this is what you're going to see whenever you log on. Now, one of the things I want to mention over here in the navigation pane is I want to go to groups, okay? So say, for instance, you're a member of a group. Maybe you're a part of the Holiday Project Inspiration group. I just started this group this past week. So you're going to click here. You can click right on the title of the group. You can click view group if you want to. So I'm just going to click here. And notice that I'm in the group because right here it says holiday inspiration, project inspiration. But notice that the screen looks just the same as the home screen on the main network, which is great. Over here, it has the navigation pane, and I will designate what features will be within the group. So you can do that discovery page, which I showed you earlier. I can set up featured posts and all kinds of things just within the group. You can see who's in the group, other members that are in the group. I've also will designate topics. So people want to add a topic to a post, or if I add a topic to the post, it makes it easier to find stuff. So like I created a topic called December Daily. So anything that we're talking about within this group about December Daily, it's going to be tagged as December Daily. So if you're a member of this group and you're looking for that information, just come here to topics, click on December Daily, and then you'll see the post relevant to that. There's also an event section. So if there's an event specific to a particular group, then that item is there too if I designate it. And like always, there's a chat feature, and you can see who's online now, who's members of that group. If you come over here back to the activity feed, just like in the home page, notice that it's set up just the same. If you want to post something, there's going to be a text box right here that you can do a post. You click on it. You can do a quick post, or underneath it, down here gives you an opportunity to expand into an article. And so you can type your title, you can add photos, video links, PDF documents, all kinds of fun things that you can add here to the post. And then of course, you can just start engaging in the content here on the feed. If you want to sort the information, you can do that. If you want to change it to list view over here, you can do that as well. We just started this group, so we only have one post. So you can engage with the post. Now, speaking of engaging with the post, if I click on the post, I can read what's going on. Notice I've got some hyperlinks here within the post. I've got photos, all these things you can do. If I want to comment, I'm just going to scroll down. Click here where there's a text box that says share your thoughts. And then I can just type in what I need to. Notice there's some icons right underneath here. The camera is for photos. So if you want to upload a photo to share a project, you can do that. Next to it is video. So if you want to upload a video link, you can totally do that, or a video file, you can do that if you want to share something. If you want to do an embedded link, that means you are sharing something from like a place like YouTube or Vimeo where you get an embedded URL, you copy and paste it, click on the embedded link, and then you just pop that into your post. If you want to attach a file, you can do that too. You just click on the little paper clip and it'll open it up and you'll find the file and you can attach it. And then once you're done with your comment, you can click comment and then it'll post there within the post. Okay, and you can do that on the main page. You can do that within groups, all those good things. I really, really love this feature because it makes it easy for people to engage. So I want to show you what a group looks like within the Mighty Network. Alrighty. Now, when you're ready to go back to the main network, if you come over here to the left-hand side, it'll say back to network. So it's going to pop you from out of that group that you're in, whether it's a paid or free group. It's going to put you right back here to the regular network. And all you have to do is click on home. And then you're right back home to the main page. If you need to do any type of maintenance on your account, you're going to come over here to your avatar. And you can change your settings and all kinds of things here within your account you're able to do. And when you're ready to sign out, you'll just come right here to your avatar and click sign out. And then you're signed out of your account if you're using it on your desktop. Okay, so this is what the platform looks like and how you navigate it. And when you join, I recommend that you take some time to kind of fill it out and see things, click on links, engage and post. There's going to be a lot more content coming to this platform. Again, it's replacing the Facebook, so it's not going to be something that's overall to join. You're not going to have to pay to join. It's absolutely free, but there are going to be some paid offerings here on the platform. This is a great way to engage and great way to view content and to interact with it. And you don't have to go to multiple pages to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the share real quick. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Let me go to gallery view again. So that is the Mighty Network in a nutshell. I'm looking really forward to people joining the network. I'm looking forward to engaging more on the network. I'm looking forward to people connecting within the network and making it a lot easier for me to share content, making it a lot easier for you guys to share content and to connect more organically than what we're able to do on Facebook. So that concludes the tour of the site. I want to pause for just a quick second. Does anybody, let me know if you have any questions about the platform at all. I'll pause for just a second for questions. And you can type it in the chat too if you don't want to unmute. And while we're doing that, I'm going to do a recorded version, not a recorded version, but a live version for those who are going to be using their tablets or using the app, so you can see how that works too. When will the actual switchover occur? Thank you. I was just about to get into the timeline. That's a really good question. So what's happening now is I'm not posting any new content as of November 1st, except for this informational content. People will still be able to post in the group, but I'm encouraging you to, if there's any projects there or videos or things like that that you want to come back to or save or download, then I'm encouraging you to do that now. So I'll be posting this month a series of instructions as well as the informational Zooms. You'll have until January 30th to download any content off the page that you want, particularly if it's yours. So if you shared something that you want to save, then you can download that. I believe Facebook will allow you to download stuff. Also this month, no new members will be added to the group. So if someone asks you about the group, send them over to the Mighty Network because that's where we're going. And I'll be communicating that a lot as well. And then, of course, I'm not sharing any new content within the Facebook. All new content that I'm sharing is going to be in the Mighty Network. I am maintaining the Victoria Marie Business Facebook page, however, and I'll share content there. But all of the engagement will happen on the network. And then the group is going to close on January 30th. And I think what I'll do is archive the group and then slowly start breaking it down. You have to delete members one by one, and we have over 3,000 members in the group. So I'm going to archive it, and then at some point it's going to be completely gone. So that'll take me a little bit. So between November and January is the timeline for us to move from the Facebook group to the new platform. And a lot of people, we've had about 800 folks join the network so far, and they're engaging with the content, which is really fun. And have moved away from the Facebook group and are still participating in the Mighty Network. And some are participating in both, but at some point you'll only be able to do the one. So good question. Nicole, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Can you show topics today? Are they specific to groups? Yes, I can show the topics again. Absolutely. Real quick, I want to answer Bob's question. So if we create new layouts, should we should now post them in the Mighty Network? Yes, Barbara. So if there's something that you want to share, I encourage you, and you're moving over to the Mighty Network and you're starting to engage there, I recommend that you share your content there, share your layouts and projects and stuff there. So that way you don't have to worry about losing that content when the page goes black in January. There are some people I'm noticing that are still posting to the Facebook group, and that's fine. I'm just not posting any new content, but I do recommend that you do post to the Mighty Network. Okay, so let me go back to, let me make sure I understand the question. So Jessica, the topics are related, the category topic is essentially tagging content. So it's not so much relative to any specific group. So say for instance, this post here, I have that's talking about, let me show a better one. So here's a post that I put that says groups available for the VN Mighty Network members. This is a post that's all about reminding people within the network that they can join a group. Underneath there, I have it tagged scrapbooking. Okay, so tags again on the network is called topics. If I go to topics here in the general page, and I go to, well, it's supposed to be tagged. Where's my other? That's maybe not a good example. Hold on. I'm trying to find one that I have in a topic for. Give me just a second. Trying to see. Is it this one? Let me go to topics. I was trying to find a post where it has designated that. Okay, let me just go to resources. Oh, here's one that I posted recently. Okay, so this is a post that you can see on the home screen in the feed, and it's also tagged or has a designated topic as resources, okay, right here on top above the title. This is just in the general page. However, it's not relative to any group. It's just a post that I've tagged resources. However, if I go into a group, I can designate topics for posts that are within the group. So here's a good one. For the virtual crop group, this is a paid group. Notice there's topics here. Anything that I, within this group, designate for a topic will be specific to this group. The cool thing about the network, however, is when you're signed in and say you're a member of this group, you'll see those posts appear in your main feed. You can also come here to groups and click on topics, and then you can see that information too. So you can have topics designated for content within a group and within outside of the group as well. I hope that answered your question. If we unfollow the VM Facebook group, does that help you rather than have to delete us one by one? Yes. And in fact, at some point in January, I will tell people, well, along the way, probably not until January, but if you've already joined the Mighty Network, you can go ahead and remove yourself from the group. And that will help me down the road because it's going to take me forever and a day to remove 3,000 people from that particular group. So if you're done with the group and you're ready to move over, go ahead, get whatever content you want to out of that, and then you can go ahead and remove yourself from the group as you are now on the new network. And Jessica says, I was wondering where the DD was. You mean like December Daily? Is that what you're talking about? I'll be sharing more about my December Daily. I don't know if Jessica's still on or not. Yeah, she's on. If you're referring to December Daily, I'll be sharing more about that in the Mighty Network as well. And I believe I have, let me see if I have one designated. Let me go back to the main network. I think the way I did it was holiday project inspiration, because I know not everyone's doing December Daily. So anything that I talk about regarding December Daily or any holiday projects will be under that particular group, holiday project inspiration. And I'll tag it as such or do a topic as such so you can see what's being posted there if you want some inspiration for those projects. I just started that particular group, so there'll be more information posted there too. So if you're looking for that, that'll be available within the network too. Oh, awesome. Good. Fantastic. Barbara says, should we unfollow the VM Designs online classes group as well? You can, but I'm going to say hold off just a second, because just like with the general Facebook group, I'm going to post what that transition will look like. I'm doing the general community first, and then I'm going to start slowly moving over the other groups, with the exception of Patreon. Patreon will stay on the Patreon platform because of the way that it's set up. I don't have any plans on moving that anytime soon. So if you're a patron, that platform will remain the same. If you follow the blog, that will stay the same. For right now, I think I'm just going to always keep the blog, because I know people want to consume information, but they don't necessarily want to be a part of the network. But there are some things I'm going to slowly phase out over the course of the next 12 to 18 months. So if you're a student in the online classes platform, stay put. That information will come down the pike in 2021. So great question. Thank you. And what it'll look like is you will have a certain period of time where you'll be able to download your class content, and I'll give you guidance in terms of how to do that and what resources to use to save that content. So you don't lose what you paid for. You'll be able to access it still, just not on the Thinkific site. And then classes starting 2021 will be on the new Mighty Network. So when you sign in, you'll be able to access your classes. You don't have to go to a separate site. Okay, good, Jessica. I'm glad you found it. Thank you so much. All right, any more questions before we pop off? This is going to be recorded, so if you need to, this is being recorded, so if you need to go back and rewatch it again, be my guest. I'm going to go ahead and post some information on the Victoria Marie blog so you can refer back to that. And then next week, I'll be sharing how you can interact with the Mighty Network using the app. From what the members are telling me and what I've experienced is that the Mighty Network app is somewhat limited in terms of what you can do. Like the main issue we're having is for those who want to register for the Victoria Marie online virtual crops using the Mighty Networks app on their iPhone or iPad, have to pay a $30 in-app fee. And so to get around that, I've disabled that feature so they can't register for the crop using their iPad or iPhone. They have to use their desktop to do that, whether it's a PC or a Mac. So that's limiting because of Apple's ridiculous in-app fee. And that's not something Mighty Networks or any other content creator such as myself can do anything about. You either do it or you don't. But everybody else is able to register using the app. So that's limiting. But there are some features on the app that are slightly different than what you see online. And most folks are saying it's just easier to be able to be on their laptop or their computer and get to the Mighty Network than it is sometimes on their phone. I just use my app to check in. I may post some things from my app, but again, I like to use my computer whenever usually I'm posting a whole lot of content, so I'll use my computer. Brenda says, all classes are just the new classes because I'm really behind in my classes. The new classes, so starting 2021 forward, will be on the Mighty Network. Anything 2020 and before will stay on the Thinkific site, and then you'll have a long amount, you'll have several months to be able, you'll probably have 3 or 4 months or 6 months to download your class content, and then you'll be able to save it so that you can easily access it. So that'd be the video content and the PDFs. So I'm making sure, I need to make sure that it'll be a smooth transition so that you can save that content. And what happens is you can download it, you can save it to your computer, you can save it to a hard drive, you can save it to an external hard drive, whatever you want to do. And then you can just access that information. You can organize it how you want. But I will provide step-by-step information when we get to that point. But right now, yes, get busy and finish your classes. Get busy and finish your classes. There's going to be 3 new classes or so, 3 or 4 I have planned for 2021. So you got to get in gear, Brenda. We got some learning to do in 2021. So, but those new classes you'll access on the Mighty Network starting next year. Yes. Thank you, Barbara. I'm looking forward to that too. I hope that will clear up any confusion for those who are already on the network who are trying to use the app. So I want to make sure that folks know that they can use the app too. A little different from the desktop, but functional nonetheless. All right. Okay. Any other questions that we have about the platform? Any thoughts on the platform? I don't know if any of you have used the Mighty Network platform at all for another creator, or if you've already joined and you want to learn a little bit more about it. But I'm looking forward to really growing the community on this platform and doing things that I haven't been able to do on Facebook, and not have to worry about things like ads and going, of course, when you sign in, you only see the information relative to the Victoria Marie content. You don't see other people's posts or anything like that you don't want to see like you would on Facebook that's not relative to the content that you're looking for. A lot of people have said who are on the network right now that they love being able to go and they see everything that's related to scrapbooking and creating. They don't see anything else. And I know a lot of people have limited how much time they're spending on Facebook, or only limited down to the groups that they want to follow, because Facebook is a mumbo jumbo of a lot of different things. So Brenda says, I joined a while back and I like it. It's much easier than Facebook. And yes, you see the content you want to see. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that content you see on the feed is not only the general content, but any other groups that you follow. You get to see that content too on your general feed and within the group, which is really cool. Really, really cool. All right, folks. With that, let's see. So far, I like it. Yeah, I like it too, Barbara. It's fantastic. I like it. It's a really, really good platform. I think there's some minor limitations to it. I'm still learning more about it. I'm taking some different webinars so that I can learn more about it as we develop the network. But it is, Definitely a lot different than Facebook, for sure. If you follow more than one group on the network, where do you go to view them? So when you sign into your Mighty Network account, you will go over here. Let me get to the home page. When you sign in, you'll see your home page. And over here in the navigation pane, you'll come here to groups. And if you click on yours, then you'll see the groups that you're a member of. And the cool thing about it is, if you come here to home, back to the regular page, any posts that are shared within the group will show up here on your general feed. So not only will you see the content that's available to everyone, you'll see the content that you're engaging in groups, whether they're paid or free groups. Okay, so you'll come here to groups. And if you just want to see the groups that you're in, click on yours, and then you'll see all the groups that you are signed up for. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. A great way to be able to break things down. Yeah, no problem. No problem. There are a ton of features on the Mighty Network that I'm still learning about, and I will definitely, I'm going to start sharing sort of some Mighty Networks tips as I'm learning different things, and I'll share those within the network so people can kind of learn their way around the platform. So thank you for that question. That was a really good question. I think it's a lot more, there's a lot more options to be able to search and to organize content. So you drill down to exactly what you want to get out of the network, for sure. All right, any other questions, comments, or anything else before we end this session? I'm going to make sure that this is posted on the Victoria Marie blog, hopefully by this afternoon, if this video file does what it needs to do, then I'll get that posted. When you're ready, you can, if you're not already on the site, you can go ahead and join it. And then if you have any questions or anything, do not hesitate to reach out to me. This is really excited. I'm looking very forward to this, growing our community. And if you know somebody who's interested in joining, just share the URL with them and tell them to join. It's absolutely free to be a member of the network, like it is on the Facebook group. All right, let me make sure I covered everything I needed to today. I got my list here. I think we're good to go. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. And if you're joining me on the recorded replay of this, if you have any questions, let me know. And I'll see you guys next week where I talk about the Mighty Network app. All right? Have a great day, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.